Thank you to all the participants at tonight's pre-budget forum. We do recognize that it is a working day, and many of you have taken time off your very busy schedules to be here. That's why I think it's very important that we manage our time to achieve two things. One is that we must all try to get some work-life balance. So we want to be able to get as much feedback as possible, and then to also allow as many people as possible to speak. Besides yourself, we also want to acknowledge the presence of the media. They are here this evening too, and we are appreciative of them joining in. Amy has already given you a very good overview of the challenges that we face both in our economy as well as in our society going forward. I believe also that it has been given to you in advance, the Prime Minister's speech during the debate on the President's address at the most recent opening of the Parliament. So I won't want to say that much more on the challenges that we face. What I thought would be useful to share with you is a perspective of how this forum could be productive. One of the most important tasks for government is to decide two things: how to grow our resources as a nation, and then how to use our resources wisely as a nation. Growing our resources is where the economy is important. We want to be able to ensure that we continuously improve the lives of our people, whether it is in healthcare, transport, education. And to do that, we need resources. And those resources come about through two things primarily. Through the hard work of our people, we grow the economy, and then we husband these resources. And then the second part is, having husbanded the resources, how do we preserve them and make good use of them, spend wisely? So that's one aspect of thinking when we need to plan our budget, how to grow our resources. The second thing is that when planning how to use our resources, as a nation, we have been very disciplined and have had a bias in favor of investing in the future of our people. So when it comes to education, much more generous funding, making sure that a lot more people get it. When it comes to healthcare, we're also looking at it from the point of view that how can you keep more people healthy? And actually, it is a better way to keep them healthy so as to avoid having to spend a lot more because people become sick as a result of not having done enough upfront. So that is a way of thinking about how to spend our money. So for us, for Budget 2012, actually it is significant in one way. Every year, of course, we have to plan our budget. But 2012 is the beginning of the next 5 budgets for this term of government. And we're kind of thinking of, apart from the year-to-year planning of what you need to cater to in a budget, you also want to look ahead at what's in the horizon over the next 5 years, 10 years. Things that are going to happen for Singapore, things that are important for our development, that we need to have some advanced thinking about, and then to plan for it by setting aside the necessary resources to make sure that we are able to support it. One good example for that we are particularly interested in is, for example, the aging population. We know that it's coming, therefore, in respect to what we need to do for our aging Singaporeans, we have great interest. And so that's one area that we want to pay particular attention to. And of course, we know that next 5-10 years, globally, economies are going to be a bit more slow. That will impact us. we also know that competition will become more keen. Then that begs the question of what do we do with our people to make sure that they have the necessary skills and the ability to continue to do well. So that's just some broad brush strokes. If I can just quickly summarize again, it is about thinking of how to grow our resources, and your inputs will be very helpful. And also then, what are the areas in which investments today will actually be very good use of our resources? So in a way, the purpose of this session is to ask you how we should spend our money. Yeah. But as all of us who have to manage budgets know, whether it's for our family, for ourselves personally, budgets are not unlimited. We have to ask ourselves, what's the best use of the limited budget? So on that note, I hope I've been able to give you a broad brushstroke about what we can get out of this session. Just also to share with you that this year, the pre-budget forum is taking place a lot earlier than last year. And I think the reason is because we learned from last year's session that when we did it so close to year end, actually we weren't able to include as many people. And this time around, we are quite happy to know that amongst the participants are people from grassroots, from business sector, social sector. So you have a very good spread here. And I totally agree with Amy. It would be best if we can hear from as many people as possible, and then the two of us should talk less. Last time when we did this consultation, we received 1,800 suggestions, not only from a forum, but through many different channels, and that happened over the course of 10 weeks. So today's forum, I think, is one of the first things that we are doing for Budget 2012 in terms of seeking feedback. So I look forward to a very good exchange with you. Just to share also that I think the purpose is to hear from you. So I think we not only don't want to talk so much, I think it's also not to try and explain things too much. So I seek your understanding in advance that I think we want to listen more and not try to, explain things too much. Okay? So thank you very much.